What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. I hope everybody's having a great day. Folks, I got a video for you today that's both an anomaly video as well as a tutorial. This is going to change how you look at these photos and how NASA or JPL is trying to steer you into the way you look at these photos. Let me explain. All right, here's the panorama we're going to have a good look at. It's northern portion of Gale Crater Rim viewed from Northloft Plateau. Now I picked this particular area. Let me go ahead and expand this. I'm going to back way out, and you can see this is a pan, and this is straight from NASA JPL. Okay, they say this is the sun right here. Now there's a depression in the ground right here, and this is the area we're going to look at. Mostly this right here. I'm going to put it smack dab in the middle, right there, and I'll show you this in Photoshop. Now, I'm going to let you read this, but let me just show you this right off the bat. They claim from this left side, from where the rover is sitting to the back of the crater rim, which is the Gale Crater Rim, that this is 18.1 miles. The highest peak, 6,200 feet. Okay? Now, I believe, my personal opinion from what I'm seeing, this foreground is real. All of these rocks you see close up and everything else, this is all real right here. Now, don't get me wrong, it's manipulated and censored. All of this right here is real. This in the back is BS. So isn't this Gale Crater Rim. Now, I'm 50-50 on the rim, but look how cartoonish it looks, okay? Even the sky, you go, look, it's got blue sky. But when you have Photoshop do its own thing, do the automatic contrast, color, so on and so forth, that blue sky disappears. Usually it's the other way around. It's usually reddish, it brings out the blue. This time it's opposite. Now, 18 miles away from where this rover sits, again, BS. In this brown area alone, there's actually objects or another debris field. However, they are much larger. Think about it. If this is 18 miles away, then let's suppose there was a structure we were trying to see, right? It would be so tiny that you wouldn't even be able to see it, okay? So you go, well, that makes sense, because if you look at right here, you can see what looks like arches. Or you see these right here in the back? There's one. I'm going to put them smack dab in the middle of the screen. 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? You can see that. Is it structured? Good possibility. Is it a debris field? Even more of a possibility. Now, let me get out of this, and you guys can download this anywhere. I'm going to turn this back to normal size. Now, before we read a little bit of this, and I'm going to let you guys read the rest of it when I give you the link. Now, folks, before we get started on this, I just want to make this clear. Nobody on YouTube is doing this. I have never seen anybody look at these photos like I'm about to show you, so that you can see it too, and you could start to pull these apart and get a real idea what we're really looking at. It's crafty the way they do this. When I first seen this, my mind was blown, and I had a problem wrapping my mind around it, because you're going, that can't be. It looks like the ground. There's no way that this could be something else. All right, let's get back into this, and then I'm going to take you to Photoshop and show you what's really going on. All right, I'm going to go right down to right here. It says Figure A includes labels on 3 peaks of the crater wall. Incidentally, it says for scale and position reference. There is no A, B, or any of that sort. If you look at this, there is nothing above the mountains. There's no lettering. There's no nothing. You don't see any of that. At least I'm not seeing it. Okay? So that's what they're saying for reference. Okay. Back down here. The peak labeled A near the left end of the panorama is at azimuth 291.8 degrees east and 18.1 miles, or 29.1 kilometers away from the rover's position. It rises about 6,200 feet, or 1,900 meters, above the closest point on the floor of the crater. Peak B at azimuth 357.2 degrees east of north, or 2.8 degrees from north, is about 17.6 miles, or 28.4 kilometers, away, and rises about 3,900 feet, or 1,200, above the base of the foothill. I'll let you guys read the rest of this. Okay, they're trying to set your mind up to look at this and go, wow, that's 18 miles away. That is absolutely awesome. It's saying that the rover's using a telephoto lens. I'm here to tell you, this midsection right here is bogus. It's absolutely filled in, and it's big structures, and I'm not talking about tiny things. All right, so let's just get right into it. Okay, here it is right here. I took out a small piece, and this is from this area here. I told you earlier. See this depression? Right here in the lower right, we're going to look at just in front and slightly to the left right here. Okay? Now let's get into this. Okay. Again, depression in the lower right corner. And what we're going to look at is right here. Put it right in the middle of the screen. Now, an artist knows that there's three parts to a photo. There's a foreground right here. There's a middle ground. And of course, we get the background here. Now, keep in mind that the rover is equipped with a camera, and that what they'll do is what they call Z-stacking. Now, Z-stacking means what they'll do is they'll take an original photo of, let's say, this small depression in the ground. And I want to make this clear, so I'm going to go ahead and I'll take 4 pictures of that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on it first, make sure it's crystal clear, take a snap. Okay. Now, when I get to this middle section, we can see it's this brownish right here. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to focus in on it. Now, all of this is now focused. So I believe what they're saying is true, right? But it also gives them a way to overlay whatever they want over these photos. Now, you guys know that a lot of times I'll bring out lines in a photo, like I did in the last video. And the lines are there. We're just dragging them out. And sometimes you can blast through some of that overlay. And I'm going to show you what happens in this one. Now, first of all, what you want to do is you want to get rid of these colors. Okay? I'm just going to show you this area. Let's say, for argument's sake, I want to block this out right here. Okay, keep in mind, guys, I am doing this freehand, so forgive me if it gets sloppy. Now, again, I want to do another area because I want to block something out right here. Here's what happens. So now we got it blocked out, we put our own texture. Sometimes, though, there's something in between of these manipulations. You might find something that does this. And the rest of it is actually underneath this manipulation. Okay, let's say this is a straight piece of steel somehow. But all we're seeing is this little part between the texturing and the censoring. We don't see the top, nor do we see the bottom of it because what? The manipulation's there. So how do they get around this? By just making the whole photo the same color. Okay, so now, let me show you what I'm talking about. So let's get rid of some of this crappy color. Now notice, where did this blue sky go? It's completely gone. What happened? Because it's not blue sky, at least not in this photo, because it's been doctored up. Okay, so here's the area that we want to zoom in on, right here. Perfect example. Here. I want to block this area out. Okay, I put it brownish, and we pretty much put any detail we want in there. Well, at the top here, and you can see it's all over this, but you can see the edge of it, the bottom edge of it doing this. Oh, wait a minute. What about the pieces that are in between here, in between these lines? See the whiter pieces? What are those? Let me show you. Okay, we want to do this. See them right here? There's 1, 2. Understand, this is a mistake right here. What you're seeing right here is a mistake. They did not take all of that out. Now, can we bring some of this out? This is what you do. You go up to the Dodge tool. You can see it right here. Dodge tool. And you can see I got it set up here at midtones at 14 on the exposure. What's going to happen is 2 things. 1, I'm just going to go like this. Watch what happens to this brown. See how it's getting lighter? But what happens if you hit something that's white? It gets whiter. Now let's go like this. I'm going to keep going up and down. Now there's more over here. You can see that. Little bits and pieces of white is now coming out. Now the brown is getting lighter, no doubt. But notice the white piece is coming out. Because those are the parts they did not take out. I can see them. All we're going to do is just concentrate on the whiter areas and see if we can bring anything out. What do you think? So now I can do this now because I've already brought out the white parts. Let's go ahead and see if we can bring out more of it. Okay? Well, there's actually more to this. Now that you know where these things are, you could try to go through the actual manipulation as well, see if you can't bring out the rest of this object. And sometimes you can. See that? Okay, so what are they hiding here? Now, guys, I just did this extremely fast just to give you an idea what's going on. But when you take your time and bring this out, look at this object up here. When you stop and you bring this stuff out, look, it's more white. Again, I can do it in the brown. It just gets lighter, but the whiter spots get a lot brighter. All right, let's back up. Is there more to it than that? This is what I started doing. Started bringing this out. Now, I tried different ways to see if there's anything different about this photo, meaning If I did it a different way, would it show different objects? Or would it not? Well, they've been pretty consistent. You can see these objects, again, white pieces, and you can bring some of it out. I'm going to show you this. This one here, this object here, is a little bigger than I thought it was. We got something right here. Let me just back this up a little bit. Right there, you can see this object here is kind of sloping down, going across. It looks like it's going down into the actual manipulation, going down like this. Unfortunately, we can't bring all this out, and that's a sad part of it. But we know what to look for now, and we also know maybe we can bring some of it out by doing this. I can make this circle smaller and see if I can get in between. Does this thing run in between or under this manipulation? Yeah, a lot of it does. And you can bring that out because the white is still behind this almost transparent manipulation. And that's what we're looking for. So now that we know where the white is, we concentrate and see if we can bring any more of it out. If not, it just simply won't show up, folks. It just won't be there. Okay? All right. Now, let me show you what I did the first time. Just brought out the middle section here. And you can see this. Notice these pieces now. You can see them sticking out right here. The white pieces right there. You can see what looks like there's a shape of something in here. Like this one here. Not sure what to make of this, but you can see the very slight edge just over this manipulation. Stops right here and it drops a little bit. This, you can actually see it going past into the manipulation. See that? So we go like this, goes around, comes back down. This actually goes down further than you think. Goes down a little further, and it goes like this. So, not sure what to make of that. This one does this. You got this straight piece right here. Now, without further ado, let me show you the full enhancement, and we'll see what we got. Now, let's zoom in. Again, I've taken my time with this and done it a lot slower, and used basically the same technique. See if it can burn through it. If it doesn't show anything, the white area stops. But you can see, especially this object, not even sure what that is, but folks, check this out. Let's back up. This is where the rover is supposed to be. How far are these things? They're literally laying right there, and they're pretty darn large. That tells me two things. One, this area that they're saying that is a swath between 16 and 18 miles is a bunch of crap. And this object sitting right here in front of this rover, feet away, not miles. And that's what people have to understand. Like I said, nobody's doing this. I see a lot of people going over rocks. I see people doing certain things like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. I do the same. The problem with it is they're not seeing the real manipulation and how they're really covering these photos. Another example right here. Okay. Again, the slotted area where they didn't completely take this thing out, right here. The rest of it is underneath this manipulation. See that? Something else right here. Of course, you're not going to make it out because it's only a very tip of something. This computer's doing something. It's actually lagging on me here. See how it's like skipping out? I'm not doing that. That's doing it by itself. And you can notice something's right here on top of this. Not sure what to make of that. But this is what I'm seeing in this. Seeing what it looks like it's kind of doing this. Going up. Something looks like it's dropping down like this. Looks like it continues on. Like framework. Not sure what to make of that. Something's right here. Again, something's right here as well. At least I can see a straight edge to this. This appears, like I showed you earlier, coming down. It appears to stop there, but I'm not sure. Okay. Something's right here. You can see it, and it looks like it goes right through the manipulation and the censoring. Okay. Whatever this thing is, that is the real parts and the real deal, what's really going on in these photos. This is the reason why it's so hard to bring some of this stuff out, and nobody's taking the time to do this. I've done this for years, and I'm going to continue to do this because this is what's really going on in these photos. They want you to believe that this is completely miles upon miles away. It is not. It simply is not. Here's the black and white, so the colors don't fool your eyes. I see what looks like a debris field. Of course, we only can see certain parts of it, very small parts of these things. or their structures. One of the two. And this is just based on what I'm seeing here. But there you are, folks. There it is. Like I said, folks, they want you to believe that these are miles away. They're not. Those hills, complete garbage. Now, let's suppose for a moment they're not garbage, but they are being censored and manipulated to make them look like hills. You can clearly see the CGI. They're colored in. It looked like some little kid like just drew little mountains and said, oh, this is the best I can do kind of attitude. But the objects between the background and the foreground, no, they're not miles away. It's not as far as they're saying. People need to just be a little bit more aware of this. And like I said, I'm surprised nobody else is doing this. Now, they're looking at rocks and they might see something in the rock. I don't know. Sometimes you see like what looks like a steel girder, mini steel girder, sticking right out of a rock or a boulder. That's, to me, that's an anomaly. But what about the stuff that's hidden in the photos? There's much more to it than just that little piece. Anyway, guys, like I said, drop your comments down below. Please like and share. It's always appreciated. And again, folks, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up so that YouTube will share it. Anyway, folks, I'll see you Friday evening at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. You guys have a good one. We'll see you soon. Peace.